are live again for the second time of the day. I'm just making some minor adjustments here. Guess they're not so minor because you could see us moving. And maybe move this up a little bit. Rotate this down. And let's see. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Here we go. All right, let's get some drawing done. And before we do that, I gotta get my hearing equipment. I gotta listen to my audio tapes while I draw. If I don't get those audio tapes, it's like become a whole different drawer. All right. So as you can tell, what we're gonna be drawing are some feet. We're gonna draw some feet, people, feet. Let's just go ahead and enjoy our feet drawings. And let's see, here we go. You know what, this pencil needs some, this foot needs some work because this part right here doesn't really suit what's going on. And we're gonna go and we got this. There's a couple minor transitions as far as, I wonder what happens if I just use a little bit of an erasing. I don't think that's gonna work. A little bit of erasing. I don't think that actually works unless you have like a really specific type of eraser for this. So we're not gonna keep doing that stuff with the eraser. But let's go like this. Go. Gonna go right here. And let's go like that. And then we're gonna go a little bit further. And we're gonna go right there. Bring that out a little bit further. And then bring this down. Let's bring this down. Right down here. And here we go. We're gonna keep building up this piece right here. Boom. Right there. And here, let's go. We're gonna go like this. This is gonna come around right up here. Actually, you know what? This is gonna come down a bit more. And then let's see. And here we go. I'm gonna bring this down. And let's see how far it goes around like that, just past our ankle. And here we go. Bring this in. So this is the Charles Bargue drawing course. And all you need to do to learn how to do this is just copy, copy, copy. That's it. How awesome is that? And let's go. We're gonna come down. And here we go. So we're gonna bring this up. Bring this down a bit. And that's gonna end, this heel part is gonna end right about here. So right to the end, right about here. So that should be okay. It should end right here. I'm gonna bring this up just a bit. And here we go. Let's go right here. And that heel area, bring this up. Actually, you know what? This probably should have came up a little bit tighter, but that's okay. Let's go like that. I'm just constantly making sure that, you know, all these shapes are doing their job. So that's going to go just past that. And connect these two and we'll be good to go. And there we have it. We got our initial layout of our leg here, our foot. And let's see. So here's what I'm seeing right now. Is this gonna come back? Let's just start with this. And then we're gonna go slightly lighter foot area, and building this up and around. Let's see. So how can we shape this? We could pretty much start to carve this out here. Let's see. We're gonna carve this, and we're gonna give this area around it. Darken some of that space. And let's go create a curve around that area. And we want to give this a more natural shape here. Add these shadows into here. And we're going to use this to round out the shadow here. Around. Turn this into like a little nodule. Round this out. Give this a nice round curve around here. I think this curve is a little bit too much. It's too sharp of a curve. And let's go down into here. Definitely this foot's gonna curve up. So just paying attention to the details. And as we continue to build this up, we can get into this. And here we go. I think we could use this to bring up some shadow this way. And then bring some shadow downward. A bit of a lighter shadow. and just adding a little bit of an outline around our space right here around the heel. And let's see how we can and here we go. Curve around with this. And here we go. Actually, we could probably erase a bit of this. Don't need that. And let's round out this piece right here. And here we go, bringing this out. Shade, 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 shading. Here we go. Come around like this. And then we're gonna come around a little bit further. And bringing this all around nice and smooth. And now let's figure out the rest of the shapes here. We're just working through. We're gonna work through the rest of the form. So as we're building up this ankle, it's gonna be a lot more shadows that we probably have to form here. So we're gonna build our shadow into this area, and then just finding some of the more subtle shadows. And let's see, just looking at this piece, there's some shadow in here. So let's find how we're going to navigate this right here. There's going to be another hard shadow. Interesting shadow right here. That's going to be a bit complex to draw, but we'll figure it out. So into these areas, we're going to have some lighter shadows, which means, you know, I could probably just press really lightly and just do the standard good old hashing. And let's go boom, boom, boom. And then we're going to, this one actually should be even darker around right into here. And then something really subtle into this section. And there we go. How do we... Let's see. So ultimately, this is a great program if you can be self-motivated and self-critical and figure out, really look at and compare. So obviously, you know, I tend to, well, I guess what happened was this was over here and I had this up. So that probably explains why this is significantly larger. But anyway, we could get an idea of whether it's accurate or not. This piece, you know, as far as the zones, you know, I think the overall form looks good. But obviously, I can always work on shadows better. Shadows are not necessarily my forte, you know. They, at least not with pencil. When I usually build my shadows, it's usually with painting. So this is fairly new to me as far as working with pencil is concerned. But if anything, how am I feeling about this? Let's see. This wild and interesting looking ankle. Let's just see if it's accurate where it comes down to. You know what? I gotta carve out some of this. Let me shape out some of this right here. I'm gonna erase away some of the part of the foot here. And there we go, just erasing away some of the things. So, want to round that out a bit. And there we go. I think I can be happy with where we've come with this. And let me see. Actually, you know what? A little bit more. All right. Well, anyway, let's round this. Round that out. Just trying to push that in a bit. Just to give it a bit more curve. To capture some of the subtleties. And I think we're good to go. So what's on the next page? Let's do the next page. We will continue on with this. I need to get like a thing to put here. Maybe I'll put a shirt. Let's see how we can rest our arm. It's a little better, but not really. A little better, but not really. So let's you know what? Let's draw this sideways. So one great exercise is when you're drawing things, what you can do is try to draw it from a different angle, right? So if I was to look at this, you know, you could reverse it, you could turn it upside down, you know, you can whatever. And what that does is it teaches you to train your sight, your visual interpretation, rather than your assumed interpretation, right? Like it's easy to draw a, you know, it's easy to draw something when everything looks as you think it's supposed to look, right? Like if you're looking straight at something and everything's standing upright, it's really easy to draw. But if you turn that same image upside down and you try to draw it and it looks totally different, it means that you have some preconceived notions as to what a drawing, what something that you're looking at is supposed to look like versus what you're actually seeing. And if you can train your visual to trust what you're seeing, you can do a better job of capturing things as they are, not as you feel they are. Which that can be, you know, it's one thing to interpret things. Nothing wrong with interpreting things, but at the end of the day, you know, if you want to train basic drawing skills, what you want to do is you want to be able to interpret accurately. So that is what this about to do is about, is doing this rotated. So this actually is a sharpener, and you know, because it gets really messy, I have to have something to empty it out. So I'm gonna empty it out in here. Empty it out into the sharpener, because why not, right? Let's see how much sharper it could go. See, I could get a nice sharp point on that thing. So just make sure I have, you know, you could do this with a garbage can. You could dump it anywhere if you want, but I prefer to just use this pencil sharpener. This is actually a new thing that I'm doing, is emptying it out into this thing. So then all you need to do is pop it back in. Put this back in and you're ready to go. So let's continue on. How do we improve our drawing skills? You draw a lot. That's it. So let me see how this goes. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to translate it up here, and I'm also going to translate it doing it sideways. Hey, what's up, Core? Core to the re. So I'm going to do this sideways. It's a great exercise to draw things from different rotations, I guess is the better way of saying it. The image rotated, because, you know, it's easy to draw someone's face when they're looking straight at you and everything's upright. But if you turn that same face upside down, you really are training how close that image looks to the person when it turns backside up is going to tell you how good you are at looking at something and copying it. That's a really challenging exercise to get you to train your visual drawing acuity, which, you know, might be a little overkill, right, for most people. But if you want to do it, it's a good exercise. So let's just get started. Too much talking. I've done too much talking, and now it's time to draw. We're all here to check out some artwork, some drawing. I mean, I wouldn't even call this personally artwork because all I'm doing is copying. Honestly, I've been thinking about this one line forever. I don't know why, but let's see. We're going to start this line and...
Will you put these in the refrigerator later?
Actually, you know what? I should just draw this straight line down. So we're going to go... I'm just going to draw a small line right here. This way I can give a good guesstimate as to how far it needs to come. This is what I did wrong last time. And let's go. That's about 1/3 of the way of the leg. So we're going to go straight down from about 1/3 of the way. 1/3 in. Just estimating a nice straight line here. If you really want to be recognized as a high quality draftsperson, you'd probably be doing this. You'd probably be doing this with the ruler, but I'm not. So, haha. Let's estimate what this size is going to be. We're going to go up at an angle right here. Oh no, this should be. And there we go. That seems about right. And then let's bring this out. We'll go bring this out. Let's see. We're going to go out and about. And let's go make this straight up as well. And that's these lines are just guidelines. They're going to be very helpful when deciding some of this other part of the foot here. So what we can tell is that this one's going to come in to about right here is when it starts to curve. A little bit past that line. So there we go. We're going to go and here we go. We're going to go curve this in. And then let's go right here. I'm going to curve this down right around. Right down there. And how can we actually curve this? We're going to curve this foot up and about. This should probably be, let's see. Oop. Let's see. Let's do a little measurement here. We're going to do a measurement. That's going to be about, I'm not going to totally measure exactly, but that looks to be about a little over a half this length, right? So if I'm going to estimate that this is going to be about a half, a little bit over a half, Then what I want to do is bring this down to about right here. And we're going to go wherever that line was. Let's try to bring that over. So I usually eye most things. I'm not like... Didn't I just do this one? Yes. So I did a smaller version of this one. So now I'm doing a big version, and I'm doing it at an angle. So, yeah. I did just do this one. But there's nothing wrong with repeating the same exercise, the same project a couple of times. And then we're going to go bring this down. And here we go. So, I'm going to bring up here. That's going to come just a little bit halfway down the ankle. And just before it hits the line, starts rotating in. Yes. And here we go. So now that we've got this, let's go from this angle. And then we're going to come down right to about there. And let's see. So we're going to also go now here. And let's bring down the shoe here. So the shoe's going to come around. Yeah, do you ever draw the same thing over and over, Omitsu? You don't... I guess since you did that illustration, you pretty much do draw everything over and over and over. Or since you are a professional artiste who happens to do illustrations. Oh, this would help. This line's helpful. So we're gonna go right here. And then we're going to come around. And this should go just past that. So we're going to go past the ankle right there. Just barely. And let's go bring this down here. Let's see if that's right. Yes, that should be good. Leave a little bit for our foot here. And here we go. So this should come straight down right about there, which is about right. So we're doing a good job. Now that we can see that, we're keeping up with the Jones, with the goals, the Joneses. We're keeping up with the Joneses here. Uh-oh. So I'm seeing an issue here. This thing I've got some issues. So whatever this happens, I'm gonna have to curve this around. This comes right to the bottom there. So that should be like that. This should be, I guess this is not supposed to curve up so much. So I guess what we do is we go if I extend this out just a bit further, we might have the space that we need to do what we got to do. This probably be steeper. This will curve up.
Sticky rice.
And here we go. And there we go. Can y'all see this? Oh, y'all can't even see this. All right, let's raise this up. Graffiti teaches you to draw things. Yes, I guess so. I've never done graffiti. I've never experimented with graffiti. But here we go. I actually had some troubles with this. And now that I see, definitely this area around the foot right here, I don't know exactly how I messed up so poorly, but let's see. Maybe I needed to add some more curve right here, and then we're gonna go like this. This needs to end a little bit past there. So that's actually accurate. That's accurate. But this is off. So I'm kind of confused as to like how do I lengthen? Anyway, let's go get this. We're gonna come around. So Mizu, what's your next big project now that you finished the Michelangelo David project? What's going on? Let me see. Let me go. Let me go check out Omizu's channel. We'll pull up his latest project. I think it's available as an NFT right now. We'll go. Subscriptions. Omizu Paints. The latest project called Ecstasy. Omizu's latest project called Ecstasy. It's an animation of the statue of David. Yes. Yeah, I saw that on Discord, but I meant like after this, except from what you told me, you said this is finished. Surely you're working on something else and not just relishing in the enjoyment of a finished project. Who would want to just relish in a finished project? But yeah, hey, awesome, good job, very fun. Let's see. And we're gonna go. Why does this foot look so funky? I think right here. And then this thing right here. Let me see. Let me bring it up here and just try to compare. Actually, this looks pretty accurate compared, right? I see what's wrong. So this happens to be a little bit longer. That's why. One thing about studying Bargue is that you can very quickly start to notice, like, how the most subtlest change, the tiniest bit of a mistake. Oh yeah, and I was assuming this was lined up, but this actually needs to be above that. So anyway, but yeah, even the subtlest 1 or 2 millimeters shift on any side of anything can totally throw off everything. That is one of the scary things about drawing when you're drawing is literally just the fact that things change. Just a millimeter shift in any direction can cause issues. Ah, start adding sound. I hear you. I hear it. What are you planning? Are you gonna come up with your own music, or are you gonna look up your own create your own assets? I don't know how I feel about this pencil shading activity. I've never been someone who's interested in the pencil shading activity of drawing. But you know what? Sometimes I feel like it's a good idea to do the things that you just never really wanted to do. So drawing that shape right there. You're gonna make your own music. Make your own music. Let's go. Here we go. Here we go. Let's go bring this up here. Gonna round this out here. We're gonna go around. And let's bring this down right about here. And here we go. Once we get past here, the rest can actually be quite dark. And here we go. I'm gonna go bring this up a bit more. So here's a good affirmation, everybody. I have a habit of winning in life. It's a wonderful affirmation I just got from Dennis Waitley. If you just say that I have a habit of winning in life, your life will change. And let's go. Reduce that. We're gonna go down into here. And the shadow's gonna be nice and dark here. So we're gonna go into this foot again, and let's actually draw an outline around this piece. This line is a little bit different than the rest. These lines, they're a little bit more subtle. And actually, we can actually curve this down, and you know what? You can definitely make mistakes. This isn't one of those like styles where you can't make any mistakes, but you know what? You can constantly look and relook and practice and just train. You're constantly training your own vision with this. You know, you're just constantly training your methods of seeing. You're constantly training your eye, your creative eye, your eye and your ability to look at something and confidently be able to be like, oh, I can figure out what's wrong, or hey, I can draw that because I know how to look at and interpret and compare the size of things and proportions in a way that allows me to pretty much be able to draw anything. So we're going to be able to go like this. And you know what? We're going to curve that around. Add a little bit of a cross shade, but we're going to go a little darker in here. A little bit of a darker shadow in here. We're actually going to have a little bit of a shadow again right here. And this is just slightly different than the rest here. Just a subtle transition. Excuse me. And here we go. I see a lot of these marks. I can't tell if they're pencil marks or if they're drawing marks or printing marks from the printer that they use. So I'm just gonna assume that they're pencil marks, and we're just gonna go with it. And here we go. And then just keep going across and filling this stuff in right now. I think the biggest trick is not changing up the angle of your pencil too much. And I'm actually not doing the greatest job of that, because I'm changing my angles a lot as far as how this pencil's angled. But just gonna keep going here. And we'll see how these shadows work themselves. How these shadows. And here we go. So and then again on this side. So these drawings definitely take much longer in order to get the full training. You know, you got to put in the time to do some of the pencil shading work. I mean, I guess technically you could probably do it much faster than I am, but I'm actually enjoying the process of just, you know, seeing how this comes out, seeing how all of this transforms. You're just enjoying the process. Enjoying the process. Loving the process. Oh, that's what that mark was for. So that's what the mark is for, was to mark the curve on the leg right there. And we're gonna keep growing this. We're gonna keep going with this. And the rest of this is pretty pretty standard here, so we're gonna go and there we go. Just gotta keep pushing and finishing. Just keep it going. I gotta tell myself keep it going because I'm getting so this would actually put me to sleep. Honestly, if anybody is watching this, I applaud you for enjoying this, because this work right now of just shading with the pencil is literally like putting me asleep. It's not that I don't find this enjoyable. I find it enjoyable, but it's also like incredibly mind-numbing. You know, I kind of have to force myself to be mindful during this process of doing these shadows here. It's a very mind-numbing process. Trying to enhance these shadows a little bit. And excuse me. But there we go. Let's erase some of our stuff here. Let's erase some of our stuff here. Oh yeah, this needs to be erased a bit. And there we go. All right, there's our foot. There's our foot number 2. We can move on to foot number 3. Let's see, how's it look? How's it look compared to our piece right here? Not too bad. Let's see. I think definitely right here, this angle could be a little sharper. But definitely the shadows are a little bit too dark, or a little bit not dark enough. I probably need a better pencil for all this activity. But honestly, it looks pretty close. We can be happy as far as just working the basic pencil work. We can see instantly that this ankle is significantly thicker. But I'm wondering. You like the lead holders? Do you have one? Or are you just saying, based on what you've seen here so far, that you like what you're seeing? All right, anyways. Yeah, these lead holders are great. Love them. They're fantastic. I'm going to get a drink right now. Just water. Water is my energy. Water is good for you. Fortune cookie. Hey everyone, we're gonna pop open a fortune cookie. This will be my fortune as well as everyone else's fortunes here. So good luck. Wish me luck. Wish yourselves luck. That this is a good fortune. And let's see what it is. It's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. I like it. Couple kittens on the table. Took me an hour. It takes me an hour to draw each of these. That's a lot of time. When I did it with pastel, it only took me like 10 minutes. No, I'm doing it all in order. I skipped one. I only skipped one so far because it was like repeated the exact same way on the next page. The only one I skipped was this one because it's the exact same one. 2 pages, both the same size, no variation at all. I'll repeat it if it's a different size and at a different angle. But let's let's make use of some of these pencils that I got as a gift. Let's start with a let's see. I always forget the pencil meanings. B H is lighter, hard. I think it has to do with hard, and then B means something else. I don't remember. I guess F, H, 2H. So let's start with 4H. We're gonna start with the 4H here. 4H is just a really hard lead, which means the lead comes off. It's much more difficult to come off, which means you're going to get a lighter. It's going to be much lighter. Pookie. All right, this next foot, I'm going to start at a different angle. I'm going to start down here. I'm going to start down here. And this is a very hard pencil. You can instantly tell that it is much harder to get the color down. I have to press really hard in order to get the color. That's okay. That's what I was expecting. So if you're expecting it, it's not a problem. It is kind of annoying though. I don't even know what the best way of using this is. I can't say I know for sure, but
Hey, it's not yours. Go back.
And let's see, this is like this, and then we're gonna come up like that. I don't like how I have to draw so many lines in order to get it, but I do enjoy using different types of pencils here. This challenge of using a different type of pencil. But, you know, it's one of those situations, probably not the right tool for the job, if I'm being honest. It's probably not the right tool for the job, because it's just a little too hard as far as the pencil goes. It's gonna be just a little longer than this one. And here we go. So we're using a 4H right now. I find like that I haven't used these pencils. Obviously, I've actually had these pencils for like 2 years, and as you can tell, I haven't used them. I have not sharpened any of them. So I felt like this would be a good time to experiment with a variety of Lumograph pencils. So I'm starting with a 4H. Again, I don't know, I forget what the letters mean. Except I know, you know, obviously if we just look at the picture, it goes 6B to 4H. So obviously, you know, I know H means hard, and then B, I feel like it means soft, but I don't know why it's a B. Maybe it means black, like it goes blacker, which I don't think that's the case. I think there's like a word in a different language that B actually means softer. I could be wrong, or bold. but basically from darkest to lightest, 4H is the lightest, but it's only light because it's hard. Oh, B. Okay, so B actually means soft. All right. F is between H and B. So, you know, I decided to use the hard, but the reason why this is lighter is because it's so hard. And obviously, it's also lighter. Actually, you know what? I don't know if it's lighter because it's hard, but I know it's much harder to get a good amount of lead out because it is hard. If that makes sense. So here we go. We're going to go right down here, and we're going to go like this. We're going to go... All right, here we go. We go like this. We're gonna go straight down at an angle. About 2.5 of the almost 3 of these. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Yes, there's definitely a science to pencil lead. You know what? I feel like this angle is a little too sharp. So we're gonna reduce the angle of that a little bit. And then we're gonna bring this down. Actually, much more subtle on the curve. And now we're gonna go down with this. And now let's add some of these other details here. This angle needs to come down. What am I doing right here? Let's see. See what's going on. All right, let's go. We can't give away anything we don't already possess. What a good quote. Here we go. And I'm gonna go up and about right here. But one good thing about drawing, when you're like drawing at an angle or like a rotation of something, is that it really forces you to get out of your head. Like, you know, you get out of your head and you stop trying to assume, like, stop trying to assume what things look like, and you get to really focus on what you're really seeing, which is a great skill to develop. And honestly, I didn't make up that skill. I didn't make up what I'm saying right now myself. There's this book that I actually learned from when I first started learning how to draw. It's called Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain, or Drawing from the Right Side of the Brain. And it's a great book. It's a woman who teaches drawing, as you might imagine. And one of the exercises is literally to take a Picasso drawing and then draw it upside down. So actually, you know what? Since we're here, let me show you the specific exercise that I'm talking about. So you don't think I'm just talking out of my ass. Which 99% of the time, this live stream, I'm pretty much talking out of my ass. But this time, I'm actually talking from my head, out of my mouth, based on knowledge. So before those of you think that I'm just making junk up, I can cite my resource. So this is a book called Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain by Betty Edwards, I think her name is. Something Edwards. What's her name? Why is her name not on the cover here? Betty Edwards, yes, that's right. And one of the exercises here, da 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 da. Not in here. Where is it? Not in here. Okay, where was it? I actually have not gone out too far into this book. There's a little too much explaining for my taste. Too much information and not enough, hey, just go draw. But it does have, my favorite thing about this book is it has tons and tons of exercises. Has lots and lots of exercises, which I think is the most helpful thing. But I think it's a little too much talk and or word and not enough draw. So I don't like. Oh yeah, here we go. So here's the exercise, right? Upside down drawing. It reduces mental conflict. Familiar things do not look the same when they're upside down. Automatically assign things. When an image is upside down, the visual clues don't match. Message is strange, the brain confused. Seen upside down, even well-known faces are difficult to recognize. You may have had to turn the photograph right side up to see that it is Albert Einstein. Yeah. Inverted orientation causes recognition problems with other images. Your own handwriting to upside down. It's probably difficult for you to figure out. Complex drawings such as the one shown upside down in Tiepolo drawing, almost indecipherable. We shall use this gap in recognition and naming abilities of the left hemisphere to allow the R mode to have a chance to take over for a while. Reproduction of Pablo Picasso. Image is upside down. Don't turn it up. Copying the image upside down. Your drawing will therefore also be upside down. What you'll do, blah, blah, blah. Draw the entire outline of the form, then fill the parts. Talk to yourself. This line bends this way, that shape curve. Force their names on you. When you come up to parts that seem to force their names on you, the hands and the face. Try to focus on these parts just as shapes. You might cover up with one hand or finger of all but the specific line you're drawing. Alternatively, you might shift briefly to another part of the drawing. Let's see what else. After you're finished, turn both drawings, the reproduction in the book and the copy. See what you've accomplished. Picasso drawing is considered quite challenging to copy right side up, but I can definitely predict that you would be pleased with your drawing, especially if you have thought in the past that you would never be able to draw. I can also confidently predict that the most difficult parts are beautifully drawn, creating a spatial illusion in your drawing of Igor Stravinsky. Finest part of their drawing, etc. When you came to the hands and face, however, knowledge of what you're drawing was probably inescapable, and for most people, this is where erasing and redrawing becomes the most intense. The reason, of course, is that you knew what you were drawing. Perhaps you began talking to yourself, saying such things as, that thumb is a weird shape. It can't be right. Why is one side of the eyeglass bigger than the other? Can't be right. So, in the class, when he was drawing, I said, I misunderstood. I just drew it the regular way. I asked him to take a seat and did the drawing again, upside down. Goes against common sense that the upside down drawing is far superior to the drawing done right side up. The student himself was astonished, no instructions. The puzzle puts the L mode into a logical box. How to account for this suddenly ability to draw well when the only change is that the verbal mode has been eased. Left brain, ever the critic, but admirer of a job well done, must now consider the possibility that the disdained right brain is good at drawing. Why upside down drawing works. For the reasons that are still unclear, the verbal system immediately rejects the task of reading and naming upside down images. The L mode seems to say, in effect, I don't do upside down. It's too hard to do name things seen this way. And besides, the world is upside down. Why should I bother with such stuff? That's what we want, etc., etc. It's all interesting. Blah, blah, blah. Why do the exercise? Experience escaping the clashing of conflicting modes, kind of conflict that even mental paralysis, the vase face exercise, etc., etc. So y'all get the idea. The whole idea is that, as I was saying, I draw sideways because I actually learned it from this book, Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain. Great drawing book. I think this is much better at teaching drawing because I don't like to read too much about drawing. You know, if teacher was like, hey, just do this, give me a simple explanation, I would do it. But, you know, there's a little too many words in here and just too many words. But very helpful if, you know, you need some more guidance, you need some more certainty, you need some more explanation on how to do things. So good in that sense, but I'd rather do Bargue any day, but it was good to learn some of those things from the book.
Hey. Shower. Draped by a cat. Wearing a cap. Look at this.
So there you have it. Anybody who thought I was totally full of crap when I was saying that drawing sideways or drawing at an angle is actually an exercise, there you go. That's what it does. Some actual proof. And all I can say is, ha ha, if you didn't believe in me, I proved you wrong. But we all know that everybody here believed in me because I believe in myself. So here we go. We go like this. Let's go bring this in a bit further. It's a really hard table to draw on because the light is right above me, and the light causes this like this really bright reflection on top of the pencil, on top of the pencil marks. So the only real question here is this going to be better than my other foot? I don't know. Maybe not, but let's see. We're going to go around and we're going to come in. This needs to curve around, basically around the same area here. So I want to come down right around this angle, really close to the center line here. Really close to the center line, about right here. Oh, I can already see this mistake here. Let's see, there's an angle right here. We're gonna curve this around. And there we go. Honestly, probably needs to be a little lower. All right, so figure that out. Bring down this angle. And here we go. So, learn to draw for a fellow by the name of Mark Kistler. Skills 9H, HF, HB, B9. You guess she is still alive at 98 years old? Is she still alive? Learn to draw from a fellow named Mark Kistler. You actually learned from him, or you studied his books or something? Let me look up Mark Kistler. I want to look him up. I want to see what family tree you hail from. What artistic tree does Omizu Paints hail from? Mark Kistler of the Great School of Kistler. Dream it, draw it, do it. Ah. Okay, 2-hour art immersion. You can draw in 30 seconds. All right, I like that. Let's promote Mark Kistler. Yeah, okay. I've probably seen a Mark Kistler book before, for sure. Drawing direction compass? So this is cool. Let's see. Mark Kistler. Mark Kistler has a drawing direction. I don't know what this is, but the drawing will help you position the objects in your drawing to achieve a 3D effect. Oh, that's kind of cool. Always use your drawing compass when drawing the initial guidelines in a picture. Remember, all the following lines you draw in any picture. Well, you know what? This sounds like a technique that I actually have to look into, because I don't know what that. I guess the context is northwest, north. Where are you putting the objects? I can see how this would be helpful. So let's see. Let's look at Mark's artistic style. Mark Kistler art. Images. Okay, so let's see. Mark Kistler art. I'm gonna go Mark Kistler art here. Very creative. Oh yeah, look at this. Classic creative styles. Very creative. Love it. Incredibly creative styles. I feel like I've had a Mark Kistler book before. Not recently, but I've used Mark Kistler before when I was trying to learn how to draw like more animated styles. So here we go. We are getting into this section here. Let's go with a H. Let's go with a 6B now. We're gonna go with a nice dark pencil. How about that? Let's go with a nice dark pencil. And we're gonna go try to see what happens with this. Ooh, I can already feel the difference in how this pencil separates. This lead is so soft, it just comes right off. It just flows right off of this pencil here. And here we go. Kind of having trouble with it though. I'm probably using it wrong. It's like not coming off. Oh, I guess I have to press really hard. I can get really dark textures, but I have to press really hard. Let's sharpen this pencil here. And I think these pencils don't need to be overly sharpened. But yeah, I can instantly see, I mean, you can instantly see how much darker this is compared to the other pencils. And this isn't surprising to me, but the fact that I really almost never use pencils, this is honestly like a whole new medium to me. I use pens mostly. If I ever draw 99 times out of 100, I pretty much use pen. All right, so yes, you can instantly tell the difference. Yes, you can instantly see the difference here when using this pencil versus another one. Let's use a little bit of erasure here. And we could keep just building up here. It's interesting how this like goes over layers on top of the other one. PBS had a show back in the late 80s called The Secret City. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure I had one of his books at one point. But that's very cool. Thanks for sharing, Omizu. Sometimes I don't know what questions to ask people, right? Sometimes I don't know, and I just have to like hope that people volunteer these fun facts. I find it interesting that this clashes with the with some of the pencils underneath. And here we go. And let's see if and let's go down right here. And you know what? We're gonna go with a slightly lighter color. And I think what we can do is let's see, what would be a good mid shade? I guess what we can do is B HB. Let's just look directly for the HB and see how this works out. Go to HB, and if we use HB for the lighter shadows, in theory, I shouldn't need to change the pressure. I could just do it. And it seems to be working. I could just use an HB instead of a just use an HB pen instead of trying to make an HB pen one type of hardness lead do all the work. And it seems to be working. Just by changing the hardness of the lead, I'm able to create a different shadow, which is very helpful. And let's see. So let's add another shape here. We're gonna go, I guess, right up here with the muscle. Excuse me. And maybe I could even use a harder pen to create a deeper, a lighter shadow here. Like I still want a shadow, but just not quite the darkest one. And then switching pencils, just going across with the shadow here is enough to just give it something different. And let's go like this. So you know what? We can use our eraser to carve in some places. You know, speaking of who we learned to draw from, I wouldn't say I actually learned to draw from Betty, but she does have good exercises, and I think exercises are incredibly helpful, even compared to like, you know, an exercise with a good explanation behind it is worth so much, in my opinion, is incredibly valuable. You know, not just drawing, not just an exercise for the purpose of an exercise, but the an exercise for a very specific purpose can be amazing. So here we go. What am I missing? Here we go. Got a little bit of a, got to round up this piece right here and add a little bit of shadow. So we're gonna go give it a little bit of a shadow around the edge here, just to give some dimension. And you know what we could do? We can take a sharper pencil and I'm gonna curve this. I'm gonna curve this. Let's curve this around, give it a more natural curve. And then we're gonna bring in a light pencil. Let's see, our HB right here. And then we're gonna go right into here. And then right around as we go over here. And we're just going to shade down you know, we got to bring in our let's keep our pencils organized here. We want back our 6B. We want to create a nice dark shadow underneath the toe, underneath the foot. So we don't want to lose sight of that. We want to make sure that we get underneath. And then we can actually add a couple of something lighter, which would be an HB. And then we're going to go round this out here. Go right on top of it. Let's create a different type of shadow there. And we're going to round out these areas. Round that out. I'm going to go curve this in. And then we're going to go and then let's see how we can. I think this needs a modification of this area. I wouldn't usually be so obsessed with using eraser as a tool because usually I draw with pen, but I do like the idea of just seeing a little bit better as to, you know, the final product. And let's go like this. And you know what? Here we go. Cleaning up these pencil marks around the outside here. I think this eraser is starting to get like a corner, so I'm starting to lose the ability to really use it with a level of control. I guess what happens, an actual like professional pencil artist would be using like a pointed. They'll probably be using like a pointed eraser. Is my guess. But other than that, we're done here. I'm gonna call this complete. You know what? I could probably bring this up. This is the HB. Probably bring this up a little bit. And maybe just bring up the dark area just a little bit more. Actually, that's plenty. And let's see what this looks like. All right, not too bad. Not too bad. We're getting better at drawing every day in every way. I am getting better, and better. Say that to yourself 100 times a day, and you will become a better person. So, actually wrapping up our materials now. And we're going to put everything, start putting our stuff away. But for those of you that tuned in, obviously, as always, thanks. Great to be able to enjoy various conversation. Goat Soup, did you just get here? You got here 10 minutes ago. I didn't even see your message. My bad. So this camera, my head is like a little bit behind the camera and then lower. So it's like behind the camera and then lower. So like I have to do extra to like keep up with the chat, and I don't get like notifications. Because if I film horizontally, which I think this is the dumbest feature about YouTube right now, as far as their live stream goes. As far as like the live stream goes, you know, for whatever reason, the chats disappear. But here, let's put a tattoo on one of these ankles here. Goat Soup, just for tuning in and sticking around with that even though I wasn't chatting with you. We're gonna tattoo one of these feet with the word Goat Soup. Let's see. How do we do this? We're gonna go right. Gonna give him like an ankle tattoo. Let's give it like a calf tattoo here. I'm not really good with lettering, but we'll figure it out. Let's give this ankle a goat soup tattoo. Goat soup. What a name. I know Omizu has been here, but Omizu's name is on so many of my paintings that most people in the future are probably going to think that Omizu's the painter of all my paintings and not myself. So, you know, Omizu. I have to be aware.
I'm gonna sleep now.
Goat.
Can you keep the volume down?
Huh?
Can you
Okay,
keep
I'm
the-
gonna. I'm almost
You
done.
can't even hear how loud you are.
Yeah, I'm almost done.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, goat.
Can you put the food away? I didn't want to disturb your tripod. Did you hear me? Emmett? Hello?
Huh? I can't. Hold on.
I know, you can't hear me. It's a problem. You should isolate yourself. What a studio.
Goat soup.
I gotta wash them.
So this perspective actually a little off. Should be curved.
I need you to put the food away. Did you hear me? I can't get it in the refrigerator. Unless you want me to try to open it.
Hold on.
I just want to tell you something.
Yes, I am not a text creator. Obviously, the letters are bigger.
Can your people hear me?
Give me a minute.
I want to talk to them.
Huh?
I want to talk to them.
So just it's the microphone
They
is
can
on.
hear me. Okay, can you please tell Emmett to put the Chinese food away before he goes to bed so it won't spoil? Thank you.
I just told you I'm gonna be getting ready.
You didn't even hear what
Why? Why you guys be so weird about it?
Not weird. I'm trying to get through to you.
All right.
You leave it on the counter. You don't even notice it.
Here we go. Goat soup. Gotta be weird about it. All right. So there we go. Goat soup tatted on our leg. With that, we're gonna call this a night. Get ready for tomorrow. Another day. Put the food away. Yeah, exactly. All right. So anyway, yes, we're gonna put the food away before we go to bed. And
Tell them why I can't put it away. There's your tripods in front of the refrigerator.
okay.
You didn't even hear me. I could say anything right now.
Could say anything. All right, well, goat soup. Here, let's see. So as you can tell, the biggest failure of the tattoo is that it's at a weird angle. It doesn't curve around. But you know what? It's fine. Look at you could tell a lot about someone by their handwriting. And why do I go from big to small? Isn't that like a funny thing? Both of them, I didn't even purposely do that, but somehow it just went from big to small. But anyway, goat soup, man. Great to chat with you before you go and before I go and get a good. You cutting your own hair? You said cutting your hair. All right, man. Well, take care. I'm out of here, everybody. See ya. Corey, later, and good night. Good night from Los Angeles.